All right, you guys, straight to jail. For questioning at least Erika. I don't care who's mad. I really do not care who wants to be upset after this episode. Really, you will be wasting your breath. You can spend $1 billion on influencers because this is all becoming increasingly inexplicable. You are asking me to be an idiot, actually, and I cannot do that for you. Someone once commented beneath this show that if the situations were reversed and there were this many verifiable lies that Charlie told regarding the murder or assassination of his wife, Charlie would be in prison awaiting trial. And I actually agree with that assessment. We are way beyond coincidence. This is now a full-blown conspiracy. So welcome back to Candace. Look, I have seen enough, ladies and gentlemen. I've seen enough. Erika Kirk should be dragged into a police precinct for questioning. Like I said, you can show me the person who disagrees with me on that. After I will reveal to you what we can now confirm, you can show me that individual and I will show you a full-blown fraud. That's the only people that would disagree with that assessment. I said to my team this morning that the amount of evidence that is now piling up, I would say against Erika Kirk, is almost akin to an NBC Dateline episode, except it's actually more simplified than that. Like Dateline, that show is way too complicated. We're effectively now playing a toddler's game of Blue's Clues. Now, for my international friends who don't know what Blue's Clues is, it's a child's program here in America where toddlers follow along a massive blue dog as he puts his paw prints on certain clues around a house, 3 clues, and they try to put together a picture in the end. What is Blue trying to say? Let's take out our handy-dandy notebook and see what Blue is trying to say. Here's the mail that never fails. Okay, if you are an adult that is capable of basic logic, then I can tell you that Blue's Clues is probably not for you because it's not that exciting. It's pretty obvious, you know. Discovering that 1 + 1 = 2 is a very elementary concept, and that's effectively what that show is. And we are now arriving at that moment with Erika Kirk, and I'm going to tell you why. So yesterday and last week, we introduced to you Erika's best friend for over 15 years, a woman by the name of Tracy Martin. Now, we were working off of a tip that Tracy may have been with Erika when Erika got the call from Elizabeth and Mikey McCoy, because they were both on the phone, even though that was never revealed to the public until later. Tracy, I am told, because she's privatized her public profiles, but I am told that she has denied that claim. Okay, let's assume Tracy's telling the truth and that she was not with Erika on September 10th. That's not even relevant to what we're about to reveal to you. Because what Tracy cannot deny is that her daughter is indeed Erika's assistant. I've confirmed that. And I want to be very clear here that this young woman did nothing wrong. She's not done anything wrong. I'm intentionally choosing not to name her daughter because I don't want people to stalk her, to reach out to her, or to try to learn anything about her life. She, like I said, has done nothing wrong. And in many ways, she's just beginning her life, okay? She doesn't get to choose who her parents are, and who among us would not jump at an opportunity to go work with the wife of the CEO of a massive student organization like Turning Point USA. You would accept that job gleefully. That's a wonderful opportunity in life. So I just want to overstate here that this young woman needs to be left entirely alone, okay? Choosing not to name her. However, it is a fact that she was supposed to go to UVU on September 10th. I remind you, this is Erika's assistant. And it sort of tracks, given Erika's public admission, that she too was considering going. But remember, Charlie told her, home needs you. Home needs you. So she was instead going to go meet him at the next event, which was in Colorado, slated for later that week. Charlie did not want her to go to the UVU event because the kids needed her. Home needs her. But he totally wanted her to become the chairman and the CEO of the company in his absence, right? Like that totally tracks. That makes perfect sense. Anyway. But the reason that Erika's assistant and her mother Tracy, Erika's best friend, told people in their orbit something quite interesting, actually. The reason that they told her that they didn't go is different from the reason that Erika didn't go, obviously. Tracy and her daughter told people that Tracy had a bad feeling. Like I told you, we confirmed that. Tracy had a bad feeling, and so she stopped her daughter from going to UVU. This is now confirmed. It's a fact. So let me carefully unpack to you why that is bananas. The day before, as we know, Charlie messages a group of people and says that he is abandoning the pro-Israel cause, and he means it, okay? He's also texting people who work at Turning Point USA, and he's saying he wants Candace back at AmFest that year after the Zionist peer pressure to keep me off of the roster. He wasn't allowed to have me. Charlie's done. He is done. That's now a fact. He signals to his troops that he doesn't care about the money, does not care about the money anymore. He wants them out. He then has what looks like an emergency Zoom call with Rabbi Wolicki. Now, I want you to bear in mind, this is 4 a.m. in Israel. Rabbi Wolicki lives in Israel. It's 4 a.m., and he's going to jump on this call with Charlie. And he was just on this chat. He was on the chat 2 hours earlier before this call when Charlie said that he would no longer be bullied by Jewish donors who play into all of the stereotypes. That chat, that notorious chat, which also featured Josh Hammer, okay? Josh and the rabbi, 2 hours later, are going to jump on this call. And later on, after Charlie was assassinated, Josh and Erika, in a different time, to my face, they're going to say that chat was really not a big deal. That chat wasn't a bit deal. Charlie was just blowing off a little bit of steam. He didn't mean it. He never once blinked on his support for Israel. Now, according to Josh, that 2 hour later call, that was just because Josh Hammer's brilliant. He's a mentor. He was a mentor somehow to Charlie when it came to debating, and he really just needed some good talking points. He was angry at Israel, but he was just blowing off some steam, and then he was back and wanted to focus on these talking points. And so apparently he needed Josh Hammer, and he also needed this rabbi all the way in Israel who agreed to wake up at 4 a.m. his time to help Charlie with talking points to college students. It's not exactly doing some main stage event up against some big political player. He needs help debating college students. So never mind the fact, let's just park aside the fact that Charlie was known as a boy wonder for doing just that. That's how he made his name, debating college kids. This time, for whatever reason, he needed some pointers, and these were the two that were best suited for the job. Okay. What we know happens thereafter is Charlie concludes this call with Josh and the rabbi, and then he sends off text messages to his security chief, Dan Flood, also to Andrew Colvett, and he says to them that they are going to kill me. Who is they? Well, Erika wants us to believe that he was referring to the left, or maybe even an Etsy witch, right? Some Etsy witch who put a curse on him. Because don't forget, we were also told that the definitely not at all Catholic Charlie had a priest come over and pray over him as well after he has this debating pointers handed to him and texting people saying he's going to die. He also was not at all Catholic and needed a priest to pray over him. And by the way, don't forget, he also apparently had no fears the next day, Erika says. She has his phone, but we got a priest praying over him. We have a declaration that he's abandoning the pro-Israel cause and that he feels that he is being bullied and he's done with it, and that Jewish people play into all the stereotypes. But we are also told that he had no fears the next day. Actually, he went to bed and he was just excited. He was elated. He couldn't sleep because doing college campus events was so brand new to him that he felt like a kid on Christmas morning. I'm just going to jump in here and tell you that's a lie. Okay, no one on earth has done more college campus events with Charlie Kirk than me. Charlie was not bubbling over in excitement to go answer questions from the likes of Hunter Kozak. Okay, these events, people stand up, they're just trying to debunk you. And yeah, you do them. You're not jumping out of your skin to do them because it's your job, okay? It's the shiny effect has wore off for Charlie Kirk. He was good at his job, and he enjoyed having the debates. He enjoyed cutting across the clips so people could wake up to what was happening on college campuses. But let's just stop this absurd narrative that he couldn't sleep like it was Christmas morning and he was 4 years old. Anyway, we can keep with Erika's story though. Let's just stick with it, actually. She's high on Charlie Kirk is high on life over a routine college event. And now he's up and pacing around the house, not in fear, just in excitement. This is like Disney World for him, going to UVU. Oddly, however, what we can confirm to you is Erika's best friend and her assistant did have fear for some reason. Charlie's good. He's excited, but they had fear. For some reason, Tracy Martin told her daughter, who's Erika's assistant, not to go to this event. They pull her back because Tracy senses danger. But if that's just mommy intuition, are we to believe that she did this? She pulled her daughter back from this event and she declined to share that overwhelming mommy intuition with her best friend whose husband was going to the event? That seems selfish to me. Are we also to believe that Erika wasn't interested in asking her assistant why she wasn't going to do her job, to work? I want you guys to remember, Charlie was assassinated on a Wednesday. So if Tracy pulled her daughter back from going to work or going to the event on Wednesday morning, then presumably Erika, her daughter's employer or boss, would have been made aware. You presumably would have had to say something. Maybe the conversation, hey, what are you doing staying behind here in Arizona? Didn't I tell you to go help Charlie at UVU? Doesn't there have to be some sort of a conversation? And if you're wondering why at all Erika's assistant would be traveling with Charlie, it's because she also doubled as an assistant on Charlie's show, and the whole gang was there. Remember, Charlie's show. Blake Neff's there. They're bringing amazing Mikey McCoy is there. Wow, kind of weird that she wouldn't tell her work colleagues, hey, maybe don't go. My mom's got a bad feeling. No? Or were Blake and Mikey wondering why she wasn't coming to work at UVU? How did this go? I want to know. I have all of these questions, but you see, I'm not a police officer. I don't work for the feds. And so I don't have a right to ask them outside of this podcast. Did she call out sick? Maybe she just called out sick. That's not what she told people in her immediate circle, but I'm just throwing things at the wall here. Because everything we're being told makes no sense. So did she called out altogether? Again, I'll ask the question, what sorts of best friend would move out of intuition to save her daughter's life, to protect her daughter, but not communicate those concerns to her best friend whose husband is still going to that event? Are we to believe that that is how it went down? And if the answer is yes, are we to assume that they believe we're idiots? Erika should be dragged into a police precinct. Tracy Martin should be dragged into a police precinct. Her daughter should be made to sit and answer basic questions about this intuition. Messages should be shared, shown. Everyone should figure out how this happened. That's where I'm at on this. She needs to be questioned. Erika needs to be questioned. Because my dog Blue is leaving his paw print, and this picture seems pretty obvious that is emerging. Paw print number 1, on the day of Charlie's actual funeral, her and Andrew Colbett, Erika and Andrew Colbett, had an emergency 3-way call with Dr. Lee Trotter, the surgeon, trying to figure out how to respond to the public about why the 30-06 didn't pass through Charlie's neck. Erika, allegedly, is the one who put forth this 3-way call. She's on the call. There was no HIPAA violation here, and she is the one that suggested that Charlie has a Superman neck. And again, they are playing defense because I shared the fact on my podcast that the bullet didn't go through. Not only did it not go through, there was no blood at all. Apparently, Andrew hit send on X to Superman neck, and we're led to believe for a very long time that was referring to, I don't know, something the surgeon said, which he didn't. My dog Blue paw print number 2, Erika lied to Glenn Beck about Charlie having not sent around text messages the night before to various people signaling that he thought he was going to be murdered. I have his phone. And then she said that was a mistake. No, it must have been on Telegram that he sent that. And then I confirmed with my person that had access to Dan Flood's phone that it wasn't sent on Telegram, it was sent on iMessage. So she lied to me. She lied twice. She lied once, and then she lied again to me. And I don't like when people lie to my face. Paw print number 3. Erika was at the meeting in the Hamptons when Bibi Netanyahu called and offered to take Turning Point to the next level, but she cannot remember that particular detail. Boys and girls, what is the picture that is emerging? we could do more paw prints, but this is a toddler show. 3 should be enough to have a picture that's emerging. We should be able to take out my handy dandy notebook and put together a picture here, a story here should be emerging. And the kids, you can just shout, what's happening here? What are we looking at, kids? And that doesn't even account for all of the subjective oddities, vibes, like Erika's emotions, the Zoom call, the Shabbat Shalom book tour, Erika asserting to Barry Weiss, of all people, that Jew hatred is wrong, Erika allowing Ben Shapiro to open at AmFest behind her. Like I said, that was my clue something was wrong. When Ben came out swinging, I was going, oh, something's very wrong here. Erika welcoming the New York Times into their shared home. Basically, Erika here is pulling the LBJ. And what I mean by that is as soon as LBJ got into office after JFK's assassination, he reversed course on every single one of JFK's policies. JFK's enemies seemingly became LBJ's friends. Erika appears to be doing that to me strongly. I know for a fact Charlie disliked Ben. Why would you let him buy his way onto the stage? Charlie said no, for a fact, to more Zionist control at Turning Point USA. He signaled to the troops, this is done, it is over. Charlie said no to Bibi Netanyahu coming on his show. So he was done being bullied by Zionist dollars. Is that the energy that we're getting right now from Turning Point USA? I broke the story and people didn't believe me because it sounds made up. I'm not making this up. There was a scheduled a few weeks ago for Bibi Netanyahu, Erika Kirk, and Ben Shapiro to film together something. Maybe it was supposed to be for the Super Bowl. I don't know, but it got canceled at the last second. They were filming something in Palm Beach, and it got canceled last second. Does that feel like the direction of travel that Charlie Kirk was going into? We can't even get his widow to at least come out and tell the truth about Charlie shifting positions. Does that not strike you as odd? Again, we're now in subjective territory, but does that not strike you as odd to at least say, as I would feel, and as I have felt, like, screw you, Josh Hammer, and this person, everybody who was mean to him and stressed him out in those final days? We're not even getting that energy. And in case you still do not believe what I have maintained from the very beginning about Charlie, who had flipped his position on Israel, I want to show you this clip of Megyn Kelly, which is going viral from her appearance on Piers Morgan's show. Now, Megyn Kelly is not the person that I expected to be one of the very few people with a platform who knew Charlie, who simply did the right thing and told the truth. Okay? She has taken a ton of flack for that. I also want to be clear that her and I do not agree. She supports Turning Point USA. She supports the direction Turning Point USA is going into ostensibly. She disagrees with me on a great many number of topics. But at this juncture, I would probably crawl over broken glass to defend her, even if I didn't agree with her positions, because she showed that she has a soul. And apparently that's rare in politics. She showed and demonstrated that she had a soul when a good man was murdered in broad daylight in front of the entire world. And she had the courage to simply tell the truth. She said, yes, Charlie changed his mind of the topic of Israel. She believes that Tyler Robinson was the person, as she has said on her show. Again, we don't agree. But she thinks that it was Tyler Robinson who did this. And she agrees with the narrative that we're not getting a lot of details because it's making its way through its court system. But that hasn't made her lie about what Charlie was going through at the end. Why is it Megyn Kelly? Charlie Kirk didn't make Megyn Kelly. Charlie Kirk did not employ Megyn Kelly. She wasn't making tons of money at Turning Point USA. Charlie Kirk didn't sweat and lose sleep trying to build up Megyn Kelly. But all of his lieutenants around him, they're silent. They're letting the lies fly. This is Megyn Kelly on Piers Morgan, and she makes an incredible point that they're all coming after her. I don't know why she's always responsible for what I say, even though we don't agree. I don't even go on her show. They don't go after people like Piers Morgan, who he actually does platform me. Take a listen to what she had to say.
And just on Candace Owens, you've been very supportive of her, not critical, even though she, I would argue, and I have to her face when I've had her on the show, I get on well with Candace, but some of the stuff she's been doing in relation to Erika Kirk, Brigitte Macron and others, I do think is really regrettable kind of conspiracy theory nonsense just to click some money. Why would you hesitate before criticizing her over stuff like that?
I've criticized Candace many times over the years. We've had many public fights over the years. But isn't it interesting that you will, quote, platform Candace? She hasn't been on my show in several years, but I get all the hard time. Why am I getting that? You're the one, quote, platforming Candace Owens. She and I don't have that kind of relationship. Candace took a bunch of crap because she was very anti-Israel in the Gaza war. And it became a thing where you had to say she was terrible in her positioning. And then after Charlie died, she started questioning whether Israel had any role in it. And that's when they really tried to amp up the pressure on me to condemn her. And I refused because Charlie was starting to have serious questions about Israel. Not just its role in the Gaza war, but its influence on American politicians, something he and I spent hours and hours discussing. So I had no problem with Candace Owens asking those questions. And I refused to condemn her because I was under pressure from these people who wanted me to. And then that morphed into then everything Candace said thereafter, with which I may or may not have had serious problems, that I had to, where's the condemnation? And it was all really about the Israel thing. And I'd rather die than bend the knee to these people. I'd rather die than bend the knee. It won't happen. I didn't raise my fist and say BLM, and I'm not going to condemn the people they want me to condemn just so that I can get a little pat on my head from them. It's not important to me. What's important to me is I live free. And that, frankly, is what it means to be an American.
That is incredibly powerful. And like I said, kudos to Megyn Kelly because she is telling the truth. It has always been about Israel. It is not about morality. And by the way, even if she did come out outright and condemn me, that would buy her maybe until next week. If she didn't say the next thing they wanted her to say, they would destroy her. We have seen this pattern over and over again. I'm one of the people that suffer from this pattern. I don't like what's happening in Gaza. Look what they did to me. Look what's happening with Charlie. Does this make any sense to you? Charlie was, for a fact, having plenty of doubts about Israel. Anybody in his inner circle can tell you that. And yet people in his inner circle are not telling you that. Instead, they are spending money and going after influencers from the very beginning to influence people to believe that Candace was lying about this fact. And now we have a predicament when even the person closest to Charlie, his wife, is being caught telling lies. These are lies. It is inexplicable why her assistant was pulled back on September 10th. Maybe it is actually. Maybe it is something that can be explained. Then they should explain it. This is way too coincidental. I want to be very clear on my perspective on this. I believe this is a conspiracy. I don't believe that this just keeps happening and no one can give answers, and that Charlie really was just so excited the night before that he slept in his daughter's bed and we don't know what happened here. Sweep it all under the rug. Nobody talk about what happened at the Hamptons. He just needed advice from Josh Hammer. They're asking us to be really stupid right now. And I am asking you to join me in refusing that order. Anyway, we are going to pause here and take a brief break before I respond to a TikToker who has called me over in an internet game of Red Rover. And I have something to say about what she has shared. Be right back. All right, you guys, inflation has been skyrocketing and it does not seem like it is going to slow down anytime soon. Groceries cost more, gas costs more, and the value of the dollar just does not stretch the way that it used to. That's why so many people are turning to gold and silver, assets that have historically held their value during uncertain times. Gold and silver have been performing incredibly well, and they can be a powerful way to diversify your portfolio when the market feels unpredictable. Instead of having everything tied up in paper assets, adding precious metals can help balance and protect what you've worked so hard to build. That's where Goldco comes in. Goldco makes it easy to learn how gold and silver can fit into your overall strategy. They'll even send you a free gold and silver kit so you can understand your options with zero pressure. And their team, they are real experts, friendly, knowledgeable, and genuinely there to help you every step of the way. So if you're thinking about diversifying your assets, now is the time to do so. Goldco is celebrating America's 250th anniversary with a limited time bonus offer. Get up to 10% free gold or silver plus free storage and a free home safe with a minimum cash purchase. Head to CandaceLikesGold.com for details. Again, that's CandaceLikesGold.com. Also remind you guys about PDS Debt, because whether you're struggling with credit cards, personal loans, or medical bills, PDS Debt has custom options to help you get out of debt. They go beyond the numbers to understand your unique financial situation and craft a personalized plan that's designed just for you. There's no minimum credit score required. They're here to help you save more, pay off your debt faster, and start putting money back where it belongs, which is obviously in your pocket. PDS Debt is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, boasts thousands of 5-star reviews on Google, and it holds a 5-star rating on Trustpilot. PDS has helped hundreds of thousands of people get out of debt. Every month you wait, it costs you more in interest and fees. There's no better time to start taking control of your debt than right now. So don't wait another month. Take back control in 30 seconds. Get your free personalized assessment and the best option for you by visiting pdsdebt.com/Candace. Again, that's pdsdebt.com/Candace. I'll tell you one thing. The TikTokers, the podcasters, they've done a lot more than the entire federal government, law enforcement, and Turning Point USA executives in terms of trying to figure out what happened to Charlie Kirk, why things are not making sense. And one TikToker got onto the platform, and she decided to bump me in some information in a nice internet game of Red Rover. Take a listen.
Red Rover, I call Candace over. I found something in the Epstein files that may be a missing puzzle piece to the Charlie Kirk investigation. Let's get into it. So after Charlie Kirk had passed away, we started seeing these articles pop up, which made me dig into Erika Kirk, and I found the Romanian Angels stuff. That video blew up, but I didn't have any lawyers sent after me. Instead, it was private investigators asking how I found this information, asking me to send them links. I knew at that point that I was on the right track, was suspecting that Erika Kirk could be involved in something bigger than what we're being told. So I've kept digging, because in every homicide investigation, a potential suspect is the spouse, especially when they have so much to gain, right? Now, this article that was posted shortly after Charlie Kirk's assassination by USA Today states that Erika Kirk worked as a real estate agent in New York City for the Corcoran Group. So if we're to believe the story that she works as a real estate agent for the Corcoran Group, then her boss would be Pamela Liebman, because Pamela has been the president and CEO of the Corcoran Group since 2000. At least that's what the public has been told. Now, in this Epstein document that's doing an official name search and alias for Lynn Forster, aka Lindy Rothschild, it states that under her work affiliations that she is the Corcoran Group Inc. president. And it even shows her email, which is redacted. Now, this is a bit of a tinfoil hat conspiracy theory, but if Erika was involved in anything sketchy and she needed to receive payment, having her work for the Corcoran Group as a real estate agent would be a very easy way to launder money, right?
Let me just tell you how God works. I don't actually peruse TikTok that often, and I got this video. I think somebody sent it to me, and I had just arrived at an interesting fact about Erika, because, we've been working in the background on this timeline of her life, and it was about her real estate career. An interesting little tidbit that I can add here on her journey. It just so happens to be, like I said, this came across as I was noticing this inexplicable data point. The story that we are told, and the story that Charlie was told, the story that I was told, is that Erika and Charlie Kirk fell in love when he was interviewing her for a job with Turning Point USA. Many people have confirmed this many times over. I'll give you some examples. Here is Tyler Boyer discussing this at Charlie Kirk's memorial.
I got a call from Miss Erika Kirk, Miss Arizona 2012. I just want to help, she said. So naturally, I put her right behind the president at that first rally. After that, we talked. It was obvious she was the perfect person for the job that Charlie and I had devised in one of our 24-hour planning sessions. I wanted to hire her. I only had one problem. Charlie Kirk wanted to date her.
Okay, he tells that story. And by the way, he's telling the truth. I was around for that. I just had to scroll in through my own text messages. Here is Erika similarly telling the story herself. Take a listen.
He got finished with his burger and he just sat there and he looked at me and he's like, you know what? I'm not going to hire you. And I was like, that's fine. I don't need this job. I'm doing plenty of other things here in Manhattan. He's like, I'm going to date you.
Okay. So this is a job interview, and I'm going to show you one more example of this. She tells Megyn Kelly this on stage, and this is even after his assassination. So take a listen.
When I met Charlie, the only reason I sat down with him because I thought it was a consulting position for work. I did not date in Manhattan. I saw the pits of hell of the dating pool through my roommates.
So I can tell you, going back in my text messages with Charlie, that this date thing happened September of 2018. We discussed it. Like I said, I was basically like his wingman and very much enjoyed that. I was very pro Erika and him getting together. I can say that as well. So Charlie interviewed her in New York. That is true because she was looking for a gig with Turning Point USA. And I find that now to be very strange, weird, that she would be looking for a job in politics at the exact same time that she apparently received her New York real estate license. Yeah. So October 2018 is when they began dating in earnest. That is the very month that Erika receives her New York real estate license. She begins dating Charlie Kirk. I'm going to show you that. Here is her license, and I'm going to show you how you figure this out. This is a snapshot. You can see it says this real estate license is valid until October 24th, 2020. In New York, your real estate license lasts for 2 years. Think of it like a driver's license. You have to get that license renewed, and it's every 2 years. So if it expired on October 24, 2020, that means that she received her real estate license, we can assume, on October 24th, 2018, right when she started dating Charlie Kirk. I just thought that that was super interesting. That didn't exactly make sense to me as I was doing this timeline because I remember when Charlie met Erika. I remember Tyler setting this up. I remember the conversations, and I still have the conversations, thankfully, because I delete nothing when all this went down. The career that I was told that Erika had was that she was doing fashion. Erika was in New York City. I met her at a steakhouse shortly thereafter. Charlie wanted to know what I thought about her, and what I was made to understand was that Erika was working in fashion on this clothing brand, Proclaim Streetwear. She wore a lot of jewelry on her arm, and she was into like Christian branded fashion. So I'm just trying to understand why you would be trying to do both a fashion company, and then if you look up the LLCs, certainly at the beginning of 2019, she files for a trademark for that fashion brand. So she is both running a fashion brand, getting her master's at Liberty University, getting her real estate license, and beginning a career with Corcoran Real Estate, which is a massive real estate firm in New York. And when we dig up the relic of what she was doing at Corcoran Real Estate, all we can find on Wayback Machine is that she had one listing. So how did this career get started? How were we not told that? How was I not told when I spoke to her that she was a real estate agent? I don't know. That all seems quite strange to me. The real estate thing seems a little bit strange to me. So I want to add that to the pile for you TikTokers that are looking into things to let you know that you are on the right track and you've noticed something that struck me as odd at the exact same moment that you came across it. I said, this is actually weird. This is not the Erika that I met. I didn't know anything about this. How many careers can you have at the exact same time? Also, by the way, doing a reality show, dating, even though you never dated in New York City. Or at least is what you told Barry Weiss. Anyway, I wanted to add that little tidbit before we answer some of your questions. We will be right back after a brief break from sponsors. All right, you guys, for just $25 a month, Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data. Now compare that to Big Wireless. They'd rather charge your family hundreds every single month. Pure Talk is an American wireless company who supports our veterans and invests in a U.S.-only customer service team. So when you call, you're talking to someone right here at home. Pure Talk uses the same towers as the big carriers, so you enjoy superior 5G coverage without the inflated price. Just $25 a month for talk, text, and plenty of data. No contract, no cancellation fee. So what are you waiting for? Head to puretalk.com/Owens and you'll get 50% off your first month. Again, that's puretalk.com/Owens to make that switch to Pure Talk. Also remind you guys about Tax Network USA, because maybe you owe back taxes and maybe you have unfiled returns or you've filed every year, but you still somehow keep owing. Did you retire and suddenly get hit with a tax bill that you didn't expect? Maybe you pulled money from your 401k or IRA early, and now the IRS wants its share. However your tax issue started, the outcome is the same. Your balance is not going down. Penalties are growing. Interest compounds. And many of you are about to owe again for this upcoming tax year with no plan in place. Well, stop what you're doing and call Tax Network USA. The IRS is not waiting. The IRS is enforcing collections through wage garnishments, bank levies, and property seizures. They can even file for you without your consent. This is where Tax Network USA comes in. With over 15 years in business, there has not been a tax case that they have not seen through or resolved. They specialize in tax controversies, and they help taxpayers nationwide get back on track by resolving back taxes and unfiled returns once and for all. So whether you owe $10,000 or $10 million, the team has resolved over $1 billion in tax debt. They're offering a free investigation call with the IRS. After that investigation, they put a clear case plan in place to resolve your tax problem and get you back on track. This is about using your legal rights to take control before the government sets the terms for you. So do not wait for another IRS letter or a frozen bank account. Call 1-800-958-1000 or visit tnusa.com/Candace. Again, that's tnusa.com/Candace. Calling anybody who went to school with Erika, it's amazing. Is her entire, she's got so many universities she went to, is everything online beyond first semester of freshman year? Regis University, we have Loyola Marymount University, we've got Arizona State University, we've got Liberty University, we've got graduate programs, obscure programs, and I don't have anybody in my tips box that is saying they went to school with her or were a roommate with her. So if that's you, please send us a message, more tips at CandaceOwens.com. Send us an email. I'd like to just know. I'd like to piece that together. I've never seen someone do so much schooling and have no one that can confirm that they did any schooling. Maybe it was all online. Again, she seems to be a Jane, if we will, of many trades. And we'll have more of that again next week as I take you through. She's traveling. She's living in China, but she's in school the whole time. So maybe it really was all just online. I would like to know more. Also, in case you missed this update, quite strangely, one of the people who was fired, the one who spoke out, Aubrey Leitch, at Turning Point USA, the one who was questioned over the Uber ride by Marina Mines, the CMO over at Turning Point USA, her husband or her fiance, who also got fired from Turning Point USA just because I guess he's going to marry her or something, was going home and recognized that there was a person outside of their home. The video is online. You can find it. That was taking photos of their car, their license plate on their car, as well as their home. And obviously, he confronted him. He records the person. So in case you're thinking, which I would have thought, maybe they're just trying to serve documents. No. The whole confrontation is online. He questions him about why he's here. He says, my name is Mike, and I am taking photos because this legal firm asks me to take photos. He won't give much more information. He says he can't speak about it. This looks to me like a private investigator. Like Turning Point USA has sent private investigators to gather information on their employees. We aren't sure. I certainly tweeted at Andrew Kovett for a statement on this. That is not what happens when they serve documents. I'm a bit of an expert on that. They just give you the documents. There was no documents in his hand. He delivered nothing to him. And he was just taking photos of their home and their car. Terrifying, of course, for somebody who is 25 years old to experience. That is absolutely terrifying. I don't know why you can't just get fired these days. I don't know why you have former employers acting like ex-boyfriends. It's very crazy, ex-boyfriends. It's very strange. But I want to let you know that that's happening. Turning Point USA former employees are going to move because they don't know what Turning Point USA is doing. They are going to move to take down their GoFundMe on Thursday of this week. So I wanted to once again promote it. If you would like to support the Turning Point USA employees who have been fired, you can go to GoFundMe, the Purge Fallout Fund, and hopefully we can help them as they get their lives restarted because they worked 20-hour days. And of course, they did not see any of the billions that are allegedly coming in from Pierre. They didn't get to stick around. They got to be emotionally manipulated to believe that Charlie was in the office working. It's working. If you want to see Charlie, his spirit lives in the office. How about LOL? They mocked me for saying I had a dream about Charlie, but did anybody make fun of Erika for saying that Charlie Spears was in the office or would be with them in the office when they were working and they could speak to Charlie? No, because that wasn't a part of the PR campaign to attack Candace Owens no matter what she says at all times. Yeah. even when it's totally sensible. I had a dream. Charlie told me he was betrayed. And I'm feeling like that's a fact check true. You agree with me? I feel like I give myself a fact check true on that one. If you guys would like to support our show, we have new merch on the website. Also remind you guys that our show is available in Spanish, Portuguese, and French. And we have all the links available in the description. So you can find that. Reading the top comment from last episode, it is from Charms. This person writes, at this point, I think Andrew Colbert is secretly cheering on Candace because he keeps giving her content. Tell you, he's definitely not cheering me on. They absolutely hate me. I am the person to them, at the end of every Scooby-Doo mystery, we're like, and we almost got away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids. I'm the meddling kid. None of it is making any sense, and I'm going to continue to ask questions. And since you've already completely exacerbated every effort to have a PR machine come after me, I have nothing to lose. You guys have been chasing me for having sensible positions regarding what Israel is doing all around the world. What do I have to lose? Nothing. In fact, I have everything to gain, in my view. I have everything to gain by telling the truth. I hope people commit themselves to that understanding that if you have a platform, even if you don't have a platform, the challenge for you is to always commit yourself to the truth. It feels like right now more than ever, there is so much temptation to side with evil because it's convenient, because it's wealthy, because it has power. There's so much temptation to side with the lie. There's also the psychological operation that is being run by these people to convince you that you are immoral for having an immoral perspective, quite literally trying to invert reality. And I don't know. I just want you to feel encouraged to stand up to these people, like Charlie did in the end, to stand up to these bullies who are trying to force you into their perspectives by putting you under duress in one way or the other. I just want to encourage you to keep doing that. Like I said, the more that we tell the truth, the more exposed they become. It feels to me like the entire frequency of truth is raising right now, and they are threatened and they are thrashing. It feels like we have the devil by the tail. And I wish Charlie could be here for that. I do. And I'm so happy, like I said, I am so happy that he died with his soul intact. The end, he stood up and he said, no more, I am done with this. The money doesn't mean anything to me, take it. I want real people in my life. So, anyway, getting to some more of your comments today. I see I have gone off, but I think I was chill. I think I was okay. We'll see when I log off. James Gray writes, if I lost my significant other the way that Erika did, I'd be honored to have someone like you fighting alone for the truth. I wouldn't try to shut you down, lie. If I lost the one that I love and I was innocent, why would I lie? Like I said, the lies can't be explained. Short of trying to convince people that we are stupid for recognizing the lies, or we are immoral for sensing that this is really wrong, that she should be out here saying what he was going through in the end. Short of that, no. We are all in agreement here. And we are, by the way, the majority. The minority has more money and they have more power, but they don't have any real power. There's no substance there. It's threatened by us simply saying the truth and growing more audacious in saying the truth, which is why I want to also shout out Carrie Prejean Baller, who they are now, because she stood up during that hearing and said, what even is anti-Semitism? Seth, actually, what did you even do at the Hamptons? You pressed Charlie. Laura Loomer and the deranged Zionists are saying there's whispers that she's going to be kicked off of the religious committee because she won't bend the knee to Israel, because she is being exactly, or she is mirroring really the attitude of Megyn Kelly. I'm not doing this. I'm not bending the knee to evil. It's so obvious that all you care about is Israel. I'm a Catholic. That's what Carrie Prejean said. I'm a Catholic. This is not our doctrine. Our doctrine is not that we worship Bibi Netanyahu. Our doctrine does not teach us that Israel is a country that must be worshipped because you're putting people in there that say that they're Jews. No, actually, Jews abide by the commandment not to kill. There's a lot of killing going on in Gaza. I don't even know if we have that video to show of what Gaza looks like today. If you have it, you can run it. If not, You can see it because I just put it on X. You can go to my X feed and look at what Gaza looks like today. And if that does not spiritually disturb you, here we have it. If this does not spiritually disturb you, if you believe that God's people did this to fulfill something, goodness won. When you look at Gaza, that's a real estate deal being done by very evil people.
Fox News is now streaming live on Fox One. When news breaks, we don't just report it. We go beyond the headlines to get the full story. Get live coverage, in-depth analysis, and perspectives from the voices you trust, all in one place. Whether you're at home or on the go, stay connected to the stories shaping our world. Stream Fox News on Fox One. Download today.
And I believe they're going to be cursed. I believe they are cursed, actually. Those are not, God's people didn't do that. Don't even think about it. You don't got to know anything other than how you feel when you look at that. When you consider that there are children that are buried beneath that rubble, that is all you need to know. How you feel is all you need to know when you look at that. And when you watch them thrash as they try to explain away why that's okay, like it's a part of some prophecy. Whose prophecy? Who is your Lord, actually? I'd like to know. I'd like to know who it is. I know who's going to win in the end. Christ is king. Truth is going to win. Goodness is going to win. And so I'm on that side. But the liars lie and thrash around. And I can't even imagine. Who are they going to put to work pulling out all the dead children? Probably our military, if we're being honest. It's going to be our military. Coming back with PTSD. That's going to be our job, right? We've got to worship Bibi Netanyahu. Yeah, do not let your sons go into the military. Don't do that. I think Bibi's making his 7th trip here this week. Don't let your kids go into the military. It's been completely hijacked by Israel, probably since 1963. We have not gotten an answer as to what happened to Charlie Kirk. We've got nothing but lies. I say the social contract has been violated. They're supposed to protect us. People are being killed on American soil because foreign nations have an issue with them. That's the reality. Sorry, I'm supposed to be reading your comments, and I just went off. I don't even know what happened here. Angelina writes, my best friend's funeral was on Saturday. It was absolutely beautiful and emotional. Charlie's was not. I have deep sorrow for those who loved him. He didn't deserve any of this. My prayers are with you, Candace. You are close. We are close, by the way. I want to say I'm not even the one doing this investigation. This has been all of us. I just have the platform, and this platform is not mine. I genuinely know that this is God's platform. And whenever he's done and has used it, I'll be off of this. If this is the reason why I have the top podcast, to just get to the bottom of this because it's reveals so much to us, then so be it. I'm content with the story. I'll do a deal with the government. If they come out and they tell us the truth about what they did to Charlie Kirk, I'll retire from podcasting. How about that? Zionist, something for you to focus on. You want me gone? You want me to shut up? I care so much and so deeply about what happened on September 10th. I will agree to retire from podcasting if you admit what you did. How's that? I won't hold my breath. Justin Smith writes, fantastic show. As always, the country is invested and wants the truth, but it doesn't compare to the drive that you have as a friend. It's inspiring, and you can see the passion on your face every episode. Everyone deserves a friend like Candace, Christ is king. Everyone also deserves a friend like Charlie. You know, he really had my back through a lot of stuff that, you know, the public will never know. He really held my head up through a lot, and I definitely held his head up through a lot. And that's why I say I feel like a little piece of me died. The ignorance, I will miss the ignorance of believing that we could change things according to who we voted for. I think I'm going to miss that. Yeah, oh my gosh, this person's following us. Oh my gosh, we're going to go to the White House. Oh my gosh, Trump this, Trump that. I mourn that in a sense, in many ways. Stefano writes, with all of the demonic pastors in Charlie's orbit, it's no wonder he was embracing Catholicism. What do you mean? Well, Alex Clark told us that wasn't true. He just liked the architecture, right? He just loved it. He'd go in there and just, wow, look at this. This is amazing, but I'm a committed evangelical, but I need a priest to pray over me, not a pastor. If I'm having to deal with a leftist article written on Jezebel. Make it make sense. You can't because it doesn't. QMac writes, hell, even ChatGPT said that a .30-06 bullet would fly through multiple people. Oh, but ChatGPT doesn't appreciate miracle. ChatGPT does not comprehend Christian slop. Hopefully in the future, in the AI future, they can teach it Christian slop, which is what we've been sold from the beginning of this. Lastly, Alaska Dog writes, woe to anyone who goes to Mara, Gaza on vacation. So well said. And woe to anyone who looks at that picture. Can we just pull it up again, that video? Anyone who can look at that video of what they did to Gaza and be so stupid as to think that the monsters who did this won't do it to you too. To think that you're safe. That you're safe. All you gotta do is support it and you'll be safe. No, they'll murder you, they will murder your children, and it will be the bodies of our offspring that will be pulled from beneath the rubble. I've said enough today. I have said enough today. We will see you guys tomorrow.
Ooh, that face. Quantum fiber internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Yay to Jamila.
She's thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi keeps her meeting